Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Wednesday, September the 28th, the feast days of Saints Lawrence, Reese, and Saint Wenceslaus. From the first reading, Job. To the reproaches of his friends, because his friends are really coming down on him, Job answered, "How can a mortal be just before God? If one wished to contend with him, one could not answer him once in 1,000. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who has resisted him and succeeded? He who removes mountains, and he does not know, and they do not know it, when he overturns them in his anger." So basically, what's going on in this particular section is Job will always hold to the fact that he, to his knowledge, has not committed sin, which his friends rail against. And now basically he's defending God. How can a mortal be just before God? So he's basically saying, I can't proclaim complete innocence before God, but I don't know at the same time, I don't know what I've done. I can't argue with God. So basically he's kind of caught in a way in a spiritual twilight zone. It's like, I haven't, as far as I know, in examining my conscience, I haven't done anything wrong. I don't understand what this means, but I can't sort of shake my fist at God because how can a mortal be just before God? If one wished to contend with him, one could not answer him once in 1,000. So in a way, he really doesn't know how to resolve this. All he knows is that he's suffering a great deal. And his friends are just, pounding on him, basically saying, "We know what you did something, come on," or "We don't know what you did, but we know you've done something wrong, otherwise God wouldn't do this, or wouldn't allow you to suffer," and all this kind of stuff. And one thing Job will do, the book of Job does, is shed a light on the fact that just because someone is suffering doesn't mean they committed sin. Doesn't mean that God has it in for them. It's not that black and white. You and I sense this. The book of Job clears it up because there is this ancient idea, and it's still with us when you hear these Bible-thumping preachers saying that, if you're suffering and you're praying and suffering is not going away, it's because you don't have enough faith, you don't have enough trust in God, send me your money and, I'll pray for you, all this kind of stuff, which is a bunch of hooey. It's not that black and white. Suffering is a mystery. Over to the book, the Gospel of Luke. As Jesus and his disciples were going along the road, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus said, "Foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." So there's 3 episodes here. Another one said, Jesus said, "Follow me." And he seems to present a condition. And then another said, "I will follow you, Lord. Let me go and say farewell to my home." Basically, what Jesus is doing here in these 3 parables is he's saying to follow me is to set no conditions. You can't say, "I'll follow you if," "I'll follow you when," "I'll follow you, if this kind of works out in my life." Jesus is saying, when you follow me, period. You're all in or you're all out. And if that's not a reality in our life, then we're just going to vacillate. We're going to be vacillating all the time. And we sense this, right? It's kind of like saying to somebody, "I'll marry you, maybe," or "I love you," I would say to one spouse, "I love you 90% as my wife or my husband," or "I will stand with you as my friend 50%. All these conditions are built in. And I'm not saying you love somebody blindly. People can commit faults. You're marrying a fantasy, right? You're marrying some concoction of your imagination. The person you're marrying or a friend can fail you, can sin against you, or can commit a fault. But you still have to give your love in a kind of total way, especially to a spouse. So even more so to Christ, who's never going to commit a sin, never going to commit error. He's God. So you can't say, "Well, I'll follow you if or when I'm ready, or when I'm taking care of everything, or when I'm retired, I'll pray more. When I have time and the kids are gone from the house and I have more time." No, it doesn't work that way. Experience in life proves it all too often. So commit your life to Christ. Don't set any rules. Don't set any criteria. No qualifications. Lord, I pray for the grace to be all in. And I know that your call for me will mold and fit to my life, so that I can do all the things that you've called me to do and yet give my life to you and live it out in whatever way you call me to. God bless you.